Hello again, my lovely fans, and thank you for watching again. Continue to like, comment, share, and for those of you who have not yet subscribed, please do so. It helps my channel to grow. Please, please, please do so. It's a bit of a rainy day today, but it's just drizzling, so this time. What I will be talking about today is not a trending story, but I stumbled upon it and it got me thinking, and I figured it's something that we should, rub minds on. For those of us who are movie buffs, I love movies. Television is my Achilles heel. I can sit and stare at TV like this forever, which is destructive if you think about it, but that's how much I love TV, movies, and things like that. So I'm definitely a movie buff, especially when it comes to sci-fi. So for those of us who love that genre, or just movies generally, you're probably familiar with the name Laurence Fishburne. He's a black actor, he's an A-lister for sure. And just to jog your memory, if you've watched the Matrix series, he plays a prominent role, especially in the first one, as Morpheus, who serves as Neo's mentor, so to speak, and opens Neo's eyes up to the reality of what's actually going on within the Matrix and all of that. So yeah, that black actor, his real name is Laurence Fishburne. Now, recall that I mentioned that he is an A-list actor in, of all places, America. So it would be safe to say that he's not poor, okay? This is somebody who has remained a big name in the industry for as far back as I remember me picking an interest in movies. He does action movies, he does sci-fi, and so on and so forth. Why my emphasis on his material wealth? Well, that's coming from a place of, every time we hear that somebody is in the sex industry, especially here in Nigeria, maybe because we're a bit old-fashioned, a bit conservative in our ways generally, there's a tendency to conclude that that person, and usually it's females, let's face it, females dominate the sex industry. Usually the conclusion is that that young lady must be financially challenged in some way. So she's doing this because she doesn't have access to resources, she needs the money to survive, and so on and so forth. Well, over time, I've come to realize that that isn't always the case. And certainly not in the case of Montana Fishburne, who is Laurence Fishburne's daughter. She is 30 years old now. But when she went into the sex industry business, she was about 18, 19. She had just turned an adult. And yonder, once you become an adult, you grow horns and become a monster. It's like some of them just sit down and they're just chewing and saying, wait till I get to 18, wait till I get to 18. Well, she got to 18 and her real self manifested. This young lady, not minding the fact that I would dare say she lacks nothing material, chose to go into the sex industry business, what they politely call the adult film industry. Anytime you hear the word adult movies, they're talking essentially about pornography. Okay, let's cut to the chase. So this young lady woke up, took a look at Kim Kardashian's tape and decided, what a brilliant idea, I'll do it too. What she maybe didn't consider, there's this tip proverb that says, when people dance, some people, receive cash gifts. Other people get whipped. Kim Kardashian's sex video made her blow. She got her husband out of it. She got a reality show out of it. I mean, the reality show was already there, but it was just trudging along until, her sex tape came out. And then all of a sudden, everybody's eyes were, on the Kardashian family and all of this. She has milked the situation for what it's worth. She's currently a billionaire, mother of 4 kids, 2 sons and 2 daughters. She's living, at least where material wealth is concerned, she's living her best life. She looks good. Yeah, I think she looked a lot better as a younger person. Not necessarily because of the ravages of age, but because her face was largely untouched. But she's had a few tweaks here and there that, for my part, I feel haven't really served her. But she's still, by any standards, a very physically beautiful woman. And maybe it's because she now has kids. You know, every now and then she'll be like, oh, I regret that video, I regret that. But that's the only one we know her with. Subsequently, she's tried to keep things under wraps. She's done a spread for Playboy magazine. She still likes to dress very seductively and things like that. But we haven't seen another sex tape come out of that woman. And of course, there were speculations when it came out that the whole thing was extremely stage managed. People accused the mother of having a hand in the whole thing, and so on and so forth. Well, that's all the rumors that were associated with Kim Kardashian's situation. So Montana Fishburne took a look at that and was like, wow, this is what I need. This is how I'll make it. I need to. And you know, people who are like that to my mind, are people who are lazy. This girl's father is already an A-list actor. But she knows that she'll have to pay her dues if she wants to go that route. And if she does not have the talent to back her up, her father's name will just be a bane to her anyway. In that they don't they don't cut you slack because, oh, you're this big person's child. No, you have to go through the grind like every other person. Okay? So I guess she figured that was a little too difficult for her and decided, I'll do something that comes more natural. You know, I'll just lie there and so she's I'm sorry I sound so sarcastic. I'm just so pissed. Because as a parent of grown kids, male and female, this is one of those things you keep hoping and praying your child doesn't wake up one day and think it's a beautiful idea. Okay? For most regular people, anyway. I think most normal, average, everyday parents don't want to see their child's sex tape anywhere, not even the one that was shot within the confines of marriage. Okay? So when your child is doing that for fun, and certainly she isn't doing it for money, like I said. So Montana Fishburne has been through two intensive rehab, institutions. Because in addition to that, she now went into drugs, alcohol, and every other kind of ludicrous behavior you can think about. Usually the excuse is, oh, when I was a child, my parents traumatized me. Somebody pushed me on the head. Another person yelled at me. Somebody scolded me. But this one, one thing I like about the girl is she's being honest, you know. She could have come out and said that Lawrence Fishburne was so busy acting that he didn't have enough time to be a father to her. So right now she feels she doesn't owe him anything and she's taking her pound of flesh back, or that has affected her mentally. Yeah, her mother was also not a very good mom. She could have placed all the blame on the parents, but she hasn't done so. So at least I'll give her top dibs for that. She's been frank enough to just straight up tell us that she's doing it because that's how Kim Kardashian made it. And, she says that, but then again, she also makes it clear that this is something she has always wanted to do. So she's low-key, trying to push the blame on Kim Kardashian. But then in the very next breath, she admits that it's something she has always wanted to do. So essentially, it's always been a fantasy of hers. So I dare say that with or without Kim Kardashian's tape, this is already where she was headed to anyway. And the tape just helped to galvanize her and strengthen her resolve with regard to that. Which is why Tiwa Savage's, recent misadventure doesn't thrill me. I don't have any sympathy for that nonsense. Because people like Tiwa Savage are people who, whether they like it or not, have a lot of young people looking up to them. So I'm not one of those people who is, I feel sorry for her. For all I know, the whole thing was stage managed. Because let's face it, Tiwa hasn't had a big hit in a long time. And she's always had those tendencies of dressing very seductively and pushing the envelope and everything. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is not something that was. I feel the whole thing was well orchestrated. This is her trying to feel the pulse of Nigerians, see if there will be any significant backlash, see if it is something that will work for her career. Now, everybody that doesn't matter is there applauding her, wishing her the best, telling her she's now their biggest celebrity and all of this. Well, let's hope that the corporate world feels just as strongly, you know, because there'll be a whole bank that was thinking of using her, and then the board of directors consists of a large number of extremely conservative Nigerians who will be like, nah, you're not going near that girl. Yeah. So, well, I wish her luck with that. I hope, like, that's as in the case of, Kim Kardashian, I hope Tiwa Savage's sex tape turns out to be the gift that keeps giving. I seriously doubt that will be the case, but I wish her well with that nonsense. This is also hoping that all those people who are clapping for her and telling her, well done for owning it and every. I hope that when your kids tell you that, well, I did it because Tiwa Savage did it, I hope it won't hurt. So that's it with tying it to the Nigerian situation. As for Montana Fishburne, I only brought this up because this is the kind of story that is always evergreen. There's no time limit on it. So it'll probably not trend. People who stumble upon this might not watch more than 1 or 2 minutes of it and then move on because it's not a trending story. But it's the kind of thing every parent should just low-key be fearful of. You give your child everything you can as a parent. And this child proceeds to essentially throw you under the bus by turning out like this. I don't think it's something any parent wishes even on their enemy. It's hurtful. It stings. There's I don't know any parent who will find themselves in that position and be like, oh well, it's all good. No, there's nothing like it's all good. Her parents are divorced. They've been divorced for a while now. She didn't use that as an excuse either. And even if she did, you'd say, well, there's a whole lot of other people who are from broken homes who have not taken that route. But that said, I wish the Fishburnes all the luck. I'm hoping that after 11 years of experimenting with the sex, I would hope that after 11 years of debasing herself and humiliating herself for other people's entertainment, it would have occurred to Montana by now that what's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander. That it worked for Kim Kardashian doesn't mean it will work for you. It's been 11 years. You're still not yet a household hit in any good sense of the word. Maybe you want to try something else. Or maybe that's your calling in life. Some women have mami water spirits. Non-Nigerians won't get where I'm going with that, but some women have mami water spirits lounging in their system somewhere, and there's no amount of money you'll give them, there's no amount of attention, affection, or anything you will do that will exorcise that thing out of them. So maybe she's one of those. And if that's the case, well, I wish Laurence Fishburne good luck because it's going to be a long journey. You have my sympathy as the fellow parent, but this is the situation. The rich also cry. Sad, but true.